be of some level of encouragement to someone today, I want to give you a very simple, succinct message. Operate in power. Operate in power. God has given each and every one of us power and authority. And if you don't believe me, don't believe me. Let's go to the word. Genesis chapter 1, verses 27, 28, I'm reading from the NIV. It says, "So God created mankind in his own image." That's already powerful enough. He's created us in his own image. In the image of God, he created them, male and female. He created them. God blessed them and said to them, "Be fruitful and increase in number. Fill the earth and subdue it. Rule over the fish in the sea and the birds in the sky and over every living creature that moves on the ground." This is in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. So Genesis chapter 1 talks about creation. It talks about how God spoke and things were created. He created night and day. He created the heavens and the earth. He created the sea and the land. He created the animals. And now he's thinking, now everything that I've created does not look like me. It reflects my power. It reflects my authority. It reflects the reflection of what I intended this formless, shapeless earth to be. But now I'm going to create something that bears my own image and my own likeness. So it's going to have the power, which is exhausted typically out of our mouths and by our actions, how we make people feel, how we're able to encourage them, how we're able to reflect the love of God to them. But now I'm also going to give them the second command, which is in verse 28. It says to be fruitful and increase in number. And then it says to fill the earth and subdue it. If we look up what subdue means, the word subdue, if you look it up in the dictionary, it'll give you something that'll say along the lines of being able to bring under your control. Now, if we read further in chapter 2 and chapter 3, specifically chapter 3 of Genesis, it talks about the fall. It talks about when Eve was deceived by the serpent. Remember now, if we go back to the ending of verse 28 here in Genesis, it says, you are giving the ability, the authority to rule over the fish in the sea and the birds in the sky and over every living creature that moves on the ground. What deceived Eve and caused Adam and Eve to sin? A serpent. So what am I saying? When the devil's trying to get in your ear, when he's trying to tell you things that are not of value, or if he's trying to make you feel less than, if he's trying to confirm your own insecurities about yourself, we've been given the power and the authority to rule over him. But what happened in the garden was we allowed something that was beneath us, that we're supposed to rule over us. So now the authority that we've been given to rule over everything, over the fish in the sea and the birds in the sky and every living creature that moves on the ground, now we are moving and living and operating underneath the power and the authority that we're given. We're not living up to our fullest potential because we've been conditioned, we've been convinced that something that God has told us isn't for us. How many times in your life can you really look back and think of the times that something may have happened to you, a situation may have happened, someone may have done something to you, and you felt like you weren't as valuable? That's right where the devil wants us. He wants us to feel weak. He wants us to feel powerless when we've been given a powerful assignment by God. God did not give anything else that creeped and moved and flew over the earth the authority that he's given man. And when I say man, I mean man and woman. When they say man in the Bible, usually it means male and female. Typically, I've yet to see, and someone please correct me, I've yet to see where it's just talking about males. It may say husbands, it may say wives, but when it says man, if you look up the Greek origin of the word or the concordance of it, it'll translate to say mankind. So male and female, we've been given this authority by God. And the devil knows that if he can make us question the authority that we've been given, we may think that we're moving in an unauthorized manner. We may think that if we talk and we speak life to situations, or if we speak in a certain way saying, I condemn that in the name of Jesus, I condemn that thought that I'm having in my mind right now, I condemn that in the name of Jesus. This sickness that is coming over me, I condemn that in the name of Jesus. We have forgotten the fact that we've been given this power and the authority to rule over everything in the earth. And that's including the devil's lies that he's trying to convince us to believe. And somebody out there, just like myself sometimes, I have to remind myself that I've been given the power and the authority. And the minute that someone or something is trying to make me question the power and the authority that God has given me, I know that it's not sent by God, first and foremost. If it's contrary to what God has told me to do, there is somebody that may come your way that may try to get you off your path. They may try to tell you, oh, that idea that you're talking about, oh, that calling that you say that you have, is it really a calling? You know how scared you are sometimes. You know how you're not a good speaker. You know how you stutter sometimes. You know how you get nervous. Those are the people and those are the thoughts that the devil wants to bring into your life that's going to distract you from the path that God has for you. And it's time for you to tell them, it was real nice to know you. It was real good for us to share this time, but it seems like the season is ending. There's people that's going to try to come your way, that's going to try to convince you out of the will of God. When God is bringing people, and he's wanting to bring people around you that's going to keep you within his will. Which path will you choose? Will you get with people that will confirm your unbelief in yourself? Or will you get with people that's going to stretch you and take you to places that only God can take you? And he's willing to take you there with the power and the authority that he's been giving you. Operate in power, people of God. There's going to be a lot of people that's going to try to make you feel powerless. There's going to be a lot of thoughts that may make you feel powerless. But God has made us all powerful. And never forget that.